Welcome everyone, just a classic by Ozzy. I was blessed enough to see Randy Rhoads on both of Ozzy's tours with the first and second album, and man, he left an imprint on this guitarist, I'll tell you. Such a phenomenal talent. I miss him, I really do. This is Suicide Solution. We're in normal tuning. Of course, I've written it out for you. My notes will be available below. One nice thing, and to get you into Randy, this is a great introduction song because there's frankly no lead. He does some stuff at the end, just kind of making noise as they go out. And of course, live, this was the song he kind of did his solo in. But we're not going to cover that. This is the studio version, so we're going to go over all the little licks that he does in between, which are just so tasty, and some of the really cool ways he structures playing specific notes and leading into them. So we'll go over all that next. So the song starts out about the 18th fret. You just want to hit that and come down to an A power chord, and then you're going to mute the 5th string for 2 hits before we come to the 5th fret on the 4th and 3rd string to the open 4th and 3rd and 2nd. All right. Now we have 2 more muted notes on the 5th string before we come back to 5 open 2 again. Then in the intro you'll hear him hit the 6th string at the 3rd fret and a slight pull down. It's just a little pause. It's a really great kind of leads you into the next little line. All right, which is an A, 2 muted notes, 5 open 2 again. 2 muted notes and then 5 open 2. Then I'm not sure if he's doing a 5th string harmonic with the dive bar, but you can catch it right at the 4th string with a, and there's a slight bend to it. So just hit the 4th string with a little bit of a pinch harmonic and bend it. And then we're into the actual verse. So from the beginning, slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the verse, that is the basic. We're not going to be doing any pull down or harmonic. We're going to add a couple licks between each of the basic standard rhythm. So we're going to start out with our A, 2 muted 5ths, 5 open 2, then 2 muted riffs, or 2 muted 5s, and then 5 open 2, and then we'll do a lick. So I'm going to play that and show you it, up to that part. Alright, so that lick is open 4th string, then we're going to hit the 1st fret pulled back off to open, then landing on 3 on the 5th string. It's a subtle lick, but boy, it's in there. Until I started to learn this song, I really never heard that in there. It's just, it's so quick and it's right there. So up to that lick, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go back into the lick, or the chord rhythm. Alright, so the second lick he does, very similar to that first one, except we're going to start on the third string, hitting open, hammered on to 2, pulled back off to open. Then we come to the first fret of the 4th string, pulled off to open, landing on 3 on the 5th string. It's just very quick, but it fits in there so well. So that's the first measure. All right, so let's do it again together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautifully constructed. All right, so we're going to do that rhythm chord lick again with the very first one. All right, and then we're going to change it up a little bit. So let me go through the second measure of verse 1. All right, so we do that lick. Come back into the chording. Right when we hit the A, we come up to the D power chord, slide that up to E, so 5 on the 5th string, 7 on the 4th and 3rd, slide that up to 7, 9 for an E, back to D, C, and then a G power chord. All right, we don't want any B's in that chord. All right, so that very last measure of verse 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're into, it's kind of a little tag before we go into the next verse. Okay, so coming out of that G, we're into this, like I said, it's a little tag that leads us into the next verse. So I'm going to play it so you can see it, and then we'll go over it, because there's a bit of technique to it. All right, so what he's doing, you can simplify this if you want and just play the G chord, then to A. All right, and then a pitch harmonic on the second fret. But what he's actually doing, he's going to hit his A power chord, then we're going to hit the 4th and 3rd string at 5, and then 5 again, slide up to 7, and then we come into a G, but what we're going to do is hit the G note before we go into the rest of the G power chord. Alright, so it's like this. Now he's going to hit that G note again, because he's right there, but he bends it slightly, and then hits that A power chord. Then that pinch harmonic at 2, there's a little bit of dive bar on it, but just add vibrato, that's fine. The second time through, you'll do that G just the same. The only difference is you're going to come back to 17 and slide down. Alright, so let me go through all of that slowly so you can really see how that fits together. Again, it's in my notes, so that should help. 1, 2, 3, 4. we're into verse 2. Verse 2 is exactly like verse 1. Same licks. First one, second one, third one between there, and then we go back into the... Then we're into what, I guess you might as well call it the chorus. Okay, for the chorus, it's just so well executed. I love what Randy plays here. Probably my personal favorite part of the song. So I'm going to play through it, and then I'll show you it and give you some techniques to play it. This is so cool. So what we're doing is palm muting on the 6th string, 5 to 7. Use your middle finger because your first finger will be right there at the 4th fret for the 4th and 3rd string chord. Alright, now we're going to do those same 2 palm muted notes, but you want to come up to the 6th fret. Alright? And what I do is move my finger up after hitting these notes, because that puts me in position, semi, for the next one, at least the bass chords. And then we move up to 7. So we got 4, 6, and then 7. Then we come back to that C sharp on the 6th string at the 9th fret, hit the 7th fret of the 4th and 3rd, and slide back once. So all together up to this point, watch how I play this and how I move up the fretboard. So see, I hit that, and then I'm in position to use my middle finger on that C sharp. Alright, the next one repeats exactly the same, except after we slide from the 7 to 6, we're going to quickly slide from 4 to 2. Alright, so we'll have this. Then we start over just like the first one. So the very last one, once we come up to the 7th fret, we're not going to slide back. We're going to come back to the 6th string for 2 muted notes, backwards if you will, because we've been going down the fretboard. Now we're going to come back up with 9 to 7. So here's what it will be. And then we come to basically an E power chord. Second half of it, we're going to be playing 4th, 3rd, and catch the 2nd. Alright, that leads us into the next tag, just like the first tag. Alright, so all of that chorus together. Let's go all through that at a medium tempo so you can see how it all fits together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're into the tag, just like we learned. Alright, exactly the same. And then even we're into verse 3. Verse 3 is played just like the last 2 verses, same with the licks, and then we're into chorus 2. Alright, chorus 2, just like what we learned. After chorus 2, we're into the bridge. The bridge is really kind of a sustained part with some chords that just really fill it up nicely. I'm going to play right up to, let's just say, half of it. It'll be what I wrote out, measure and a half. I'll just stop there. So what we're doing, we're going to hit an A power chord. He'll hold that for 16 counts. About the 14th count, he comes in with a pick scrape, and then we go to 5 on the 4th and 3rd string, to 4, to open, and then to a 2 power chord. Alright, so I won't quite hold A for 16 counts, but you'll get it. Is a little down, up, down, muted before we hit 5. Then we're going to go to 7 on those same 2 strings, 4th and 3rd, to open, and then an A power chord. Then we use our on and off with this treble selector, the pickup selector. So you want your bridge pickup on, of course, and your rhythm pickup off. So when you go back and forth, kind of Ace Frehley like, you get that on and off effect. Alright, and he kind of does that in time, seriously. Alright, so then we come back with 2 slid up to 4, then hit 5, back to 4, open, and 2. Alright, so we have this. To A. Alright, so after we hit the A power chord, we're going to slide 2 to 4. We'll strike 5, 7, and then open, and that will finish the bridge. Back in with basically a tag intro. We're going to do that slow bend on the 6th string just like we did in the intro, but the last part will be a harmonic on the 5th fret. And then he uses behind the bridge. You can do it up by the neck, but I found it goes out of tune. Unless you got some maybe nut sauce on there, but either way we're hitting harmonic at the 5th. So let's come back in after that bridge. Okay, so you get it. There you are. It's in my notes. Now we're into verse 4. Verse 4 is just like the other 3 verses. Same fills. Once we get to the G, now we're into the outro. So the outro, we're going to go through basically another verse, alright? And then when he comes to the G and goes to the A, he starts doing some outro fills. So you want a lot of reverb on this, maybe some delay, and just play with it. He's got the whammy bar. He probably used another guitar on this because, or his guitar with the whammy bar could do the on and off. I looked at playing this with my Floyd Rose, but I like doing the on and off, and that couldn't do that. So that's why I chose my Les Paul, and it was needing some love. So at least my heritage Les Paul. God, I love this guitar. So Beautiful, beautiful finish. Just one of their custom cores, and highly recommended. All right, so we'll go through the outro. All right. I should mention the third time through, he does a third on the third fret of the fifth string, bend and release twice. Alright, so I've got all my echoes on, and you'll hear him hit up at the 17th fret, basically referencing the C on the 4th and 3rd, and even 2nd string. And then he comes to a C. Love that dinosaur call. That's what I think of it as. So what we're doing, hit that C chord, 4th and 3rd string. Then we take the 3rd string at the 7th fret with a bend release, pull off to 2. And that delay and reverb just adds to it. Then we're back to a C, which he holds for about 6 counts. And then he just goes into that D note. So he hits the 7th fret of the 3rd string and holds that with some vibrato. And again, you've got the reverb adding to this, and you'll hear all kinds of noises that he's making. So, you know, just play with it, have fun. That's what I do, and, you know, go nuts with it. Randy had a great time, I'm sure, and God rest his soul. I do miss him. Enjoy.